We know that bridge building is an important tool for the civic good, but how do we get started? Earlier, we looked at how dialogue can help build relationships across difference. This is an essential component of developing pluralism. Now, we look to a second way of building relationships through opportunities for cooperative action. How do we create spaces and situations that foster cooperation, appreciative knowledge, and work for the common good?
Like dialogue, cooperation and action between people with differences requires safe space. Once you've established a safe space for bridge building, how do you go about creating opportunities for people to come together, build relationships, and put their shared values into action?
We are all starting from somewhere, and we all have resources available to us to help us affect change. What is it that you hope to accomplish? Do you want to host an incredible event that allows people from different communities to build relationships with one another? Do you want to reduce tension between groups in conflict in your neighborhood? Do you want to campaign for food justice by bringing together community groups who don't usually collaborate? The civic bridge building movement is large and diverse. There are countless ways for you to bring about meaningful change in your community. You'll want to choose an activity or project that is welcoming to the widest range of people and won't inspire divisive arguments or the shaming of any particular group. How can we be sure we are being as inclusive and effective as possible? We can start by avoiding events that exclude large groups of people or advance divisive theological or political views, such as a rally for abortion rights, which would alienate many groups who hold that life begins at conception, or a service project cooking hamburgers, which might alienate groups who practice vegetarianism out of their values. Just like bad dialogue, bad bridge-building activities set participants up for divisions rather than connections. Some common action issues that tend to work well for diverse groups are projects that are based on widely shared, deeply held values, such as addressing homelessness or hunger, human trafficking, or environmental cleanup. Start by asking, what are real community concerns that need to be addressed? And then ask, are these concerns that all perspectives in the groups I'm trying to bring together share? Great bridge-building activities have participants saying,
I can clearly connect my identity to this project.
I am inspired by other people of different identities connecting to this activity, and I understand that we can do this activity together despite our differences.
While tackling this project together, we talk about our commitments and values in ways that deepen our connections to our own practice and our relationships with one another.
Bridge building requires that we come together around a common goal while being aware of the differences we have with one another. Rather than asking participants to put differences aside, we want to recognize that those differences exist alongside our shared values. Then, we can come together on issues of shared concern. After you've determined what you'd like to accomplish, identify your resources. Before you can run an event or lead a campaign, you need to take stock of what you have at your disposal in order to make your event effective and compelling. What are your own personal strengths? Are you a gifted storyteller, a great organizer, a strategic planner? Start with your strengths and determine what other strengths you may require to be successful. Who might be a strategic ally for your project? What models exist for the type of activity you want to host? Where is this kind of work happening in your community? Which organizations are seeking people like you to power the work that they are doing? What are your financial or physical resources?
Community service projects are one example of a common and effective space for bridge building. Service projects can bring together a wide range of people who believe or act differently for a common cause. These projects provide great opportunities to learn how different communities approach the same issues. Service projects ask people to bring their values into the work and the conversation, inviting respectful conversation about differences as well as commonalities. Other ways to foster relationships and bring people together include film viewings and discussions, hosting a speaker or a discussion panel, or an event that caters to creativity, like a concert, art show, or essay contest involving participants from multiple perspectives or communities. All of these events provide opportunities for people to deepen their understanding of their own identity and to identify and build relationships around their shared values with others. Selecting the right project or issue can be difficult because people may view the same issue from opposing sides. It can be difficult to remember that justice is defined and understood differently by different groups. So what might be a just position for one group may be an affront to justice in the eyes of another group.
Finally, remember that bridge building is difficult. Sometimes we make mistakes, or tensions and divisions come out despite our best efforts. Just because an event does not come off without a hitch, or an issue doesn't take off right away, does not mean that it is a complete failure, or that you are not effective as a leader. Part of what will make you a good leader is your ability to reflect on both successes and challenges in order to identify what you can work on for next time. It's also important to recognize things may be beyond your control. Be sure to note what worked from your event. Were people able to connect over shared values? Was there time and space for meaningful dialogue? Did people feel comfortable bringing their full selves into the work that they were doing together? Taking the time to reflect on the success and failures of an event or project will help you strengthen your leadership skills and identify additional resources and challenges for future projects. Hopefully, you will have been able to build relationships with some of your participants who might be able to help you reflect and plan an even more successful project the next time around.